challenged me with a heater, and he beat him.
Here's the man who started it off with some fireworks. Acuna back to the plate. Second time up with 2 on and 2 out. And he'll take ball 1. And that pitch count for Yamamoto already at 35. 21 pitches in a more laborious second inning for Japan. Close pitch, it's in there for a strike. Yamamoto, 27 years of age. 3-time Pacific League MVP. 3-time Sawamura winner. That's the Cy Young in Japan. Play at second again. They have been trying to get Torres, and this time it was the second baseman, Maki, who came over. Torres back in safe again. Ball on a strike. Acuna, check swing roller to the right side. Maki covering a lot of ground. He'll throw out Acuna to retire the side in the second. But a couple of extra base hits got it going. Tovar keeps it going against Yamamoto. Torres drove him in, and Venezuela's got the lead, firing up the second. Acuna homer, an Ohtani homer, and an RBI double from Gleyber Torres. That's the scoring as we're into the bottom of the second. Kazuma Okamoto back in, swings and lines a shot to center field. Jackson Churio is right there. That'll be the first out on 1 pitch for Suarez. Okamoto was at the plate when Suzuki was cut down, tried to steal, and he left the game with injury. Here's Munetaka Murakami. Now in the American League, signed a 2-year deal with the Chicago White Sox. So another power hitter entering the fray in Major League Baseball. Murakami has already made an impact in the WBC, had a huge home run against the United States in the finals 3 years ago. Part of that victory for the Japanese. It's a big cut of that sinker, and it's 1-2.
Well, I'm as excited as anybody to see how Murakami does in the Major League since he's on the White Sox. The one thing about him is there's swing and miss in there. Can he cut that down a little bit and still keep his power?
Waves and misses. There's that slider tailing away. And Murakami is retired. Second strikeout for Ranger Suarez. You can play the Fox Super 6 World Baseball Classic Challenge. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a shot to win your share of $20,000 in total cash prizes. You can see the Fox Sports app for details. Here is Shugo Maki. 5 straight first pitch strikes dealt by Ranger Suarez.
Ranger Suarez ain't messing around.
Yep.
He doesn't need a pitch clock. He gets the ball and is going. I love it. He puts pressure on the hitters. You got to be ready. He's coming.
It's another swing and miss. That time to change up and a chance for a 1-2-3 second.
In a shutdown inning if he gets his 3rd out. His team scored, has a lot of momentum. Get him back in the dugout.
Venezuelan fans wanted that one. Close changeup. And Maki's still alive at 2-2.
Just a little bit low. Salvi wanted it behind the plate.
Another chance for Maki, the MVP of the All-Star.
Hotel is working, you know, the approach is there. You know, we're kind of applying exactly what we talk about it to go against Yamamoto, and it's working so far. I hope we get a couple more runs off him.
Ranger Suarez looks good. He pitched to Ohtani, 4 pitches, all 4 different pitches, and still a home run. What is the approach for the rest of this game against Ohtani?
Well, we'll see what's the situation of Ohtani. Ohtani can hit the ball a game like that again, especially with runners on base. We'll see what happens, but I think Ranger Star is doing a really good job so far. Changeup is working, and hope he can give me a couple more innings too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate Omar Lopez. Great coaching staff. Victor Martinez, Miguel Cabrera right there. Robinson Chirinos, Gerardo Parra, Rubelis Odor, a lot of names that have a lot of experience, both playing and managing and coaching. Michael Garcia strokes one out to left field. Yoshida ranging back at the wall. It's off the fence again. And the Venezuelans are teeing off another extra base hit. And it is Michael Garcia, his 7th hit of the tournament.
They are hitting missiles off of Yamamoto. He's looking up at the scoreboard going, I am not used to this. Every time they throw a fastball, or he throws a fastball or makes a small mistake, that's a fastball and it's a strike, and Michael Garcia does not miss it. Down, a little bit in, and another extra base hit for the Venezuelans.
He's got a double. His cousin Acuna has a home run, and now Luis Arraez will climb in with a man in scoring position. Okamoto comes in at third, as does the first baseman Murakami.
And Adam, can I just say, if you haven't been to one of these WBC games, the atmosphere, especially here in Miami with Venezuela and Japan, the fans are unreal. The electricity in this stadium right now.
Yeah. As we said, this is the 6th tournament. Nice curve for a strike there. It's going to be wild coming up on Sunday, as the rest of the tournament will be played here at Lone Depot Park, the home of the Marlins. One to Arraez. It is pulled foul, 1-2. USA, Dominican Republic tomorrow night with Paul Skeens and Luis Severino is the pitching matchup. That is wild. It's going to be equally wild in terms of atmosphere here. Italy has advanced for the very first time, so the winner of this game will get the Italians on Monday, and then the finals here on Tuesday night. This is where Pool D was played, with Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Netherlands, and Israel. 2-strike pitch to Arraez, and he leans out of the way, 2-2.
We were talking before the game about the game tomorrow night, the Dominican U.S. with Tom Verducci. As you see Yamamoto go up, and Luis Arraez gives him the old, okay, I see you, pal. Nothing malice in that, but just a little, I see you.
Little wake-up call slightly for Arraez. On a 2-2 pitch, and he fights off a breaking ball.
Usually it's the Italians that are caffeinated right there. That woke up Luis Arraez. But this matchup tomorrow, this might be the most talent in a non-all-star game we've ever seen. If you start looking at the two lineups, the pitching staffs, everything combined, this might be, and I know Tom and I talked about this before the game on the field, but is going to be one of the great matchups of all time of any game.
3-2 on Arraez. Just the amount of all-star appearances, Silver Sluggers, MVPs, Gold Gloves, Cy Young Award winners throughout both of those rosters. You got a bunch of them in these two rosters. That's why there was such a buzz around the WBC. And there's buzz in the building for a 3-2. Arraez fouls it away.
Man, if I had to bet, okay, runner on second, nobody out. If I had to take one guy in Major League Baseball to try to get him over, I would take Luis Arraez. Yamamoto is filthy nasty, but Luis Arraez bat control. Now he probably won't do it because I just said it, but you can tell by his swings he is trying to make sure he misses on the right side.
Bouncing ball to the right side. Maki has it. That'll move the runner over. And on the 49th pitch for Yamamoto, he records his 7th out. One away in the third, and Garcia to third base.
But did you see how happy Luis Arraez was right there? He hit a weak ground ball to second. He's running to first, clapping, looking at the dugout, saying, let's go. I did my job. Why? He moved him over to third for Suarez. Watch him. He is so happy. Most people would be, oh, man, I didn't get a hit. But instead, little things matter.
Infield plays in now. Here is Suarez, first pitch swinging, and Eugenio fouls it away. Ground out his first time up. You see action again behind Yamamoto. That's Shoma Fujihara, as Yamamoto just tossed his 50th pitch of this quarterfinal contest. The leash not much longer now. Suarez waves at a breaking ball. It's 0-2. Another nasty pitch that falls off the table there for Yamamoto. So good at commanding up and down, in and out of the strike zone. Garcia, the leadoff double. He's at third with one out. Suarez susceptible to the strikeout in his major league career. Goes down swinging here on that splitter and almost fell over. There's the second K for Yamamoto. First on the split.
Just a tough at bat for Gino Suarez right there. Just Yamamoto needed to get nasty, and he does. Another split down and in. Suarez loses his balance right there. Tough at bat. But now Yamamoto's got to face his nemesis.
4 extra base hits and 11 times seeing him. Tovar against Yamamoto. Ezequiel Tovar making his World Baseball Classic debut this year, just 24 years of age. From Maracay, Venezuela. Grew up rolling up socks into balls so that he and his family could play baseball in the middle of the street. Rounds one foul, 1-1. So many stories like that for so many of these young players who idolize the likes of Omar Vizquel and Miguel Cabrera, coming up as young children playing in the streets of their home cities. About a decade and a half later, here they are representing their country on the biggest international baseball stage. Runner at third, 2 out. Tovar goes chasing. That is something he does do often at the big league level. And Yamamoto has a chance to get out of this inning unscathed as he gets closer and closer to the end of his line. Tovar protects the plate and grounds it foul.
If I'm Yamamoto, I just bounce another curveball. He's shown he'll chase it. Tovar will. It's slower right there. He was on that slider because it had more velocity. If you can bounce one of those slow curveballs, I feel like Tovar would chase.
Another 1-2. Goes down swinging away from Wakatsuki, but he'll apply the tag, and that'll certainly a partisan crowd for the folks from Venezuela here in Miami, but incredible travel party for the Japanese fans as well. It's a wonderful atmosphere as we hit the bottom of the third. And Soshie Genda, an excellent defensive shortstop, one of the best to ever play baseball in Japan, a 9-year professional for the Cebu Lions. Starts off the bottom of the third against Ranger Suarez. Takes a strike, 1-1.
That's the pitch right there that makes Ranger Suarez so tough. Usually gets a lot of ground balls when he's right, but he can sink that ball, keep it on the ground, and then he throws the changeup right off of it, which gets the swing and miss.
He floats a slider, just lands outside. He's got such a great mix, 6-pitch mix last year. As we showed you earlier, that slider is the rarest pitch in his arsenal, but he can bust it out and get some swings and misses on it too. Back to a fastball, and it's foul. It is 10 p.m. Eastern time here in Miami. It is also 10 p.m. in Caracas in Venezuela. It is 11 a.m. Sunday morning in Tokyo now, 13 hours ahead of the Eastern time zone in the United States. Many in Tokyo have risen with the sun to watch this game, prepare for it. Japan tries to go 6 for 6 to the semifinals. Been to the semis in every tournament so far, winning at a record 3 times. The Dominican Republic has a title, as does the United States. Payoff pitch to Genda. And he draws a walk. Second walk issued by Suarez, and the leadoff man is aboard here in the third for Japan. And don't forget who's looming now on deck.
Well, here's an interesting thing about Japan. Normally they would bunt. They've always liked to bunt and use small ball a little bit, but with Shohei hitting behind them, I don't know that you do that, because then you open it up to where they can just intentionally walk Shohei.
Wakatsuki does show bunt. The Japanese catcher pulls back and takes a ball. You see the third baseman in Garcia crashing. The other interesting note that we heard from the Japanese manager Hirokazu Ibata through his interpreter Shingo Ori was, we would like to slug a little bit if possible. But we have a lineup that's built for it.
They did that with Shohei.
Exactly.
Yeah, my amigo, Johan Santana.
One of the all-time greats. Pitching coach for Team Venezuela. So many memorable moments in Major League Baseball. I still think about that no-hitter he tossed, the first ever in Mets history, about a decade and a half ago.
2 Cy Youngs. One of my all-time favorite teammates, just always happy. What a pitcher.
He's got a really good pitching staff that only allowed 12 runs in that vaunted Pool D during pool play in their 4 games. After the conference, after Wakatsuki showed bunt, he does it again and lays down a beauty. That is beautiful, fundamental Japanese baseball that moves the man in Genda into scoring position. And back to the top for Shohei Ohtani, who said he loves hitting in this park. I wonder why. They're not even going to bother with him because they know what Ohtani can do anywhere. We know what he did back in September of 24, as our colleague Joe Davis called it, the greatest day in baseball history. 6 for 6, 3 homers, 2 steals, 10 RBIs, and then he opened up the quarterfinal with a home run in this contest too. He'll take first base on the intentional walk.
No chance he was going to. No chance he was going to get the hit right there, and that's why I questioned whether they would bunt right there, and they did. And now Shohei's telling the Venezuelans, hey, give me a chance, guys.
Why wouldn't you give me a shot? Did I do something wrong? Now 2 aboard for Sato. He swings at the first Suarez offering. This is a power hitter. In fact, this is the Central League MVP a year ago who led the league in homers and RBIs. 40 homers, 102 driven in for the Hanshin Tigers in 139 games. This year is his World Baseball Classic debut. He just turned 27 years old yesterday. 40th Suarez pitch is fouled away.
Best way to make him pay for walking Shohei, not giving him a chance, to do something behind him. It's a little bit insulting when you're the guy hitting behind an intentional walk. Makes you maybe lock in a little bit more, but Major Suarez is a tough lefty.
Johan already communicating with the bullpen. As we said, it's been a very good run overall for the pitching staff of Venezuela. 2 on, 1 out, 3rd inning. And Sato will take a slider ball. Already seeing some stirring in the Venezuelan bullpen.
Lizardo looks like he's up.
Pitched a couple of times in the tournament already. Sato will take one in the dirt. Perez is able to knock it down. 5-time Gold Glover with the Kansas City Royals behind the plate. Lizardo was heavily used in the postseason by Seattle last year, loosening up quickly as Suarez is closing in on 45 tosses. Omar Lopez said 4 innings or 60 pitches max is what he's looking for Suarez.
I think if he gets out of this inning, it might be done for him. It's been some high stress.
Sato lines one fair down the right field line. Genda will come around and score all the way into the corner for Acuna. Ohtani will stop at third base. An RBI double for Teruaki Sato. And this game is tied at 2 in the 3rd. the stress only continues, AJ, for Suarez.
More stress, more stressful. A little slider. It does not get away. It stays inside. And Sato waffles this ball down the right field line past the rise. The only question for me is I thought Shohei could score on this ball. He goes back originally, and then he doesn't get a great jump, and therefore he doesn't score. Infield's in for Venezuela. They got to cut off as many runs as possible.
It's Morishita first at bat after he came in for the injured Seiya Suzuki, playing in center field. Just 25 years of age, just 1 for 6 in the tournament, but a guy that has home run power. Fellow Hanshin Tiger.
One thing about Ranger Suarez in these 3 innings, he has not been able to really land that changeup. It has been mostly sinkers that he's had to throw. He's thrown a few good sliders, but that changeup, which we've come to know him for, he has not been able to command at all.
Morishita bounces it foul, 1-1. Great season last year for the Tigers. Top 5 in homers, RBIs, runs, hits, and games played. A durable one. It's Morishita taken outside in that change. There's another one of those changeups that really hasn't sailed where Suarez wants it to yet.
He's had trouble the entire night from the first inning on, really throwing that changeup where he wants it.
Angel Serpa loosening as well. Popped up by Morishita. Get out of play, and it's 2-2. He's a Golden Glove winner as well. As we said, you hate to lose Suzuki if you're Team Japan, but it's not a massive drop-off at the plate nor in the field with Morishita. Infield takes a step back on a 2-2. And he lifts one deep to left field. Abreu raging back. This ball is gone! And Japan takes the lead. Off the bench, Morishita delivers. Yoshida takes a strike. Every young kid growing up in Japan hopes that he gets the opportunity to do what Morishita just did. Called upon due to injury, step up for your country and slam a 3-run shot. Ground ball off the bat of Yoshida, picked up by Torres, and there's the second out of the 3rd inning.
A bad changeup. I just kept talking about the changeup. That's a bad changeup. He wants it down and away. He kind of floats it down and in. Little yank. And Morishita does not miss it. He knew it right away. Right off the bat, he knew that was a home run. The Japanese bench knew it was a home run. Watch him.
That'll do it for Ranger Suarez. Past 50 pitches and a 5-2 Japan lead brings Edward Mazzardo in. And a fabulous regular season, was leaned on heavily in the postseason by the Seattle Mariners. Has to face Okamoto, the 3rd baseman. Excellent power hitter to start his outing, trying to get out of this 3rd. Line shot down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Okamoto on his way to second. All 8 hits in this game are for extra bases. Miami friendly to the hitters for these 2 clubs, and a 2-out double for the new Toronto Blue Jay.
It is just extra base after extra base hit here, Adam. Every ball is barreled when it's hit, and every ball is either going into a gap or over the fence. Okamoto just gets a little sinker, doesn't really get in. He beats it to the spot, rips it down the left field line, and Japan is in business again.
There's Murakami taken high and away. 3 homers, 5 doubles. Yeah, the fireworks aplenty on a late night start in Miami. Another one outside from Bizzardo. 2-0 on Murakami.
By the way, we're in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, we got a long way to go, my man. We are here for it. It was Ibata. There on a 3-0. He had the green light going with a man at second and 2 out in this 3rd inning. Part of the awesome atmosphere here at Lone Depot Park tonight. Check on second, and back to the bag goes Okamoto. We asked Hirokazu Ibata about it. He said, we're prepared for the noise. We know what this atmosphere is like. We know how great the Venezuelan crowd is going to be. On the grass, the winner of this one, the finals on Fox on Tuesday night in this thrilling World Baseball Classic. It is still Yoshinobu Yamamoto out there after his offense gives him a 4-run boost in the 3rd. And on the first pitch of the 4th inning, he gets Gleyber Torres to bounce out to the shortstop Genda for the 1st out.
I think Yamamoto went in the dugout and said, we just scored 4 runs. Let me get us through the 4th. I know my pitch count's around 60. Let me get through the 4th inning here. Give me to 70 and we'll go from there. But first pitch out definitely helps his cause.
For the first time, he retires the Venezuelan leadoff man. It's Torres, and now Wilyer Abreu. The base is empty and 1 out. I mean, wouldn't shock you, would it, with Yamamoto, considering the economy was willing, ready, and able to come in on back-to-back nights and close out a 2nd straight Dodgers title for Dave Roberts. Abreu, he'll take a strike. Absolutely incredible stuff. Complete game in Game 2 where he retired the final 20 batters. Came back in Game 6, got another victory, and then the next night 2 2/3 on 34 pitches in that phenomenal extra inning Game 7. And he gets a splitter to tail away from a swinging Abreu.
Give him a lead, he turns it up a notch. It's really is it's tremendous what he does, and what he did in the World Series after the Game 6 performance and coming back in Game 7 the next day. There wasn't even a break in between. It was the next day.
The 1-2 pitch, waved on and missed. And now feeling confident with that splitter. 2 up and 2 down in the 4th. Back to that incredible postseason run. The final double play to end it.
An amazing way to end an incredible, absolutely incredible, not only World Series, but postseason. Adam, you and I, we had the Detroit-Seattle series that went extra innings in Game 5. Then the ALCS was incredible, and then the World Series. Just an amazing postseason. Yamamoto just told his manager to beat it, by the way. He just said, I'm finishing this inning. And he told all his infielders, don't even bother coming in here. I'm finishing this inning.
And the limit is 80 in the quarterfinals. We weren't expecting more than 65. He may get out of this inning right around 65 or 70 if he gets Perez quickly. And he is ahead, 0-1.
Well, this is his last batter, no matter what.
Yep.
But he wants to get Salvador Perez out so he can walk off the mound on a positive note and look at his teammates and say, we can do this, boys.
Facing the Venezuelan captain, Salvador Perez. And it's a ball and a strike. So Fujihara, who's already gotten up to loosen, will seemingly be the next man. You do see the left-hander as well in Sumida, who was also loosening up earlier. So it'll be matchup based going forward. Big cut. We saw the run on that sinker, getting Perez to swing and miss to the pleasure of Ohtani. Perez leads off that tough curve. Yamamoto looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Will likely come in his final inning of the night. Trying to get a strike to put away Perez. Good at bat here from Sal as he takes a splitter low to run it full.
I can't imagine he challenges him with anything but a split or a slider or something going away from him. Salvi still at his age is a great fastball hitter. If you make a mistake, he can do damage. I would expect this to be some sort of off-speed pitch.
Payoff pitch to Perez is fouled back. Man who's hit 303 major league home runs. Eugenio Suarez, his teammate Andres Galarraga, and his hitting coach Miguel Cabrera have more among Venezuelan-born players. Nasty curveball freezes Perez. Yamamoto finishes off.
There is no prognosis, but for now, discomfort of the right knee.
That's obviously very difficult for Hirokazu Ibata, but the man he turned to, Shota Morishita, came in to play center field and had the big 3-run home run in the third. You see Yamamoto getting a lot of congratulations after a somewhat rocky start. Man, did he close strong.
He did. The last inning was his best inning by far. A quick inning, and again, that's what ace pitchers do, though. You give him a lead, he says, give me one more inning, Skip. He goes out there and does it, as we have a new pitcher here for the Venezuela.
Is Emmanuel de Jesus, and he pours in a first pitch strike to Shugo Maki, the second baseman. Quickly ahead, 0-2. De Jesus tossed 5 innings for the victory against Israel. He was the starter in the second game in pool play for this group. It was part of the biggest Venezuela win in pool play of their 3. Foul back, and it's still 0-2 on Maki.
Well, someone's going to have to give him some sort of innings for the Venezuelan team, as can't put their spirits down. They don't care about the score. They're having fun.
Popped up by Maki into right. Cunha coming on is there for the first out. De Jesus, a AAA prospect for the Detroit Tigers, just 29 years of age, from Valencia, Venezuela, in his second WBC. Just signed that minor league deal with Detroit after spending the last couple of years in Korea. Here's the shortstop, Gendo, who's walked and scored. Got that lefty out there to contend with all the solid lefties in this Japan lineup.
That's why a lot of people thought Ranger Suarez would be a good matchup against this Japanese team, because of the lefties in the lineup. But he didn't throw enough strikes. He fell behind a lot of hitters, and he could not find his changeup, and that is very un-Ranger Suarez-like.
Morishita had the big blow, that 4-run third. Another foul by Genda, still fighting them away, and it's 1-2. He has won 7 straight Pacific League Golden Glove awards, same deal as the Gold Glove, best defensive player at that position. He's a great shortstop. Did not win it last year, had his streak broken. Prior 7 he had won. Had he won the award again last year, that would have tied the all-time Japanese record for consecutive Golden Gloves. That's how good Soshie Genda is at that position.
Well, who beat him?
There's a guy for the Oryx Buffaloes in Daisuke Yamashita.
One thing I love about Japanese baseball is watch the way they're.
He finally gets one through. After he fouled a few away, he bangs one up the middle. For a base hit. He's been aboard twice. First non-extra base hit of the game. First single we have in this contest.
What's he doing? What is he doing? A little sinker. He just stays on it, left on left, shoots it up the middle. Now we know he's not bunting.
8 hits, all of them for extra bases until that 1-out single from Genda to set it up for Wakatsuki, who had a sacrifice in the 3rd. You hear a lot about Japanese baseball. Discipline, tactical. They don't slug maybe as much as some other teams in this field do, but as we talked about, Hirokazu Ibata wanted that slug, and in this tournament they've had it. 3 home runs from Ohtani, a couple from Suzuki, 1 from Morishita tonight, 2 from Masataka Yoshida. But a good power fest for Japan in this tournament thus far. Wakatsuki ahead 2-0 on De Jesus. 3-0. Along with that comes the regal and disciplined nature of how Japanese baseball has operated for more than a century. Such a wonderful mix.
They have figured out how to slug. Because you look at some of their stars that we have over in Major League Baseball now. Ohtani, slug. Suzuki is a slugger. Murakami is supposed to be a slugger when he gets to the White Sox, right? Okamoto is supposed to be a slugger. They've figured out now. They've always played a little different baseball, a little more contact oriented, a little more hitting and running, a little more bunting, a little more small ball defense. They've figured out how to slug. And the ones that can do it really can do it.
These fans that have come from Tokyo, from all over Japan to watch it, they've been loving it. Now 9-hitter draws the walk. That's Kenya Wakatsuki. 2 aboard with 1 out in the 4th. And back to the top of the order for Ohtani, who was intentionally walked in the 3rd. After in the 1st inning, he tied this game.
No words. Slider didn't do much, stayed inside. Big moment, 114 miles an hour, 427 feet, homer in every ballpark, including the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, and he was looking for another there, and right in the wheelhouse. High fastball, top of the zone. These fans are all anticipating something special too from Ohtani.
Honestly, if you're going to get him out, you got to get him out up there. If you throw it down, throws that ball another foot down, that ball might be another homer.
There goes up to start, lowers it down with the cutter, and quickly ahead. 0-2 of Ohtani is De Jesus.
A little nice cutter off the high fastball. Now he's ahead. Doesn't mean anything, because if you make a mistake, Ohtani's still dangerous with 2 strikes.
It's off 1-2. Stories of Ohtani, legendary, coming out of Japan. Put a ball through the roof at the Tokyo Dome at one point before he came to the major leagues. Oof, that was coming up and in, and a defensive swing fights that fastball off.
Adam, you know how you're an amazing baseball player? Besides being able to foul off this fastball up and in, off his knuckles, but when he took BP today, the entire Venezuelan team was out there watching.
Yep.
Every ball he hit, the crowd was oohing and awing. When you get a team like Venezuela to come out and watch you take BP, you know you're special.
Oh, what a special pitch. That cutter was nasty from De Jesus to get Ohtani. That is the first time that Ohtani has struck out in the tournament. It's the 2nd out of the 4th, and here is Sato. Still 2 on and 2 out. Fouled away.
Just a filthy cutter. Slider, horizontal movement. Ohtani's head was in it, but his heart really wasn't. You see him open up and everything going to first base. Like you said, Adam, the first time Ohtani's punched out in this tournament, it's a big one for Venezuela.
Sato was thinking about swinging. He held back and took a high strike. Chance for Sato to get out of this inning with 2 aboard. The Jesus bank, beg your pardon. De Jesus debuted in the majors with the Miami Marlins a few years ago before going over to Korea. 2 on, 2 out in the 4th, and a 1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball foul.
Jesus has got a chance to get some momentum back here in Venezuela. The crowd is trying to get back into it here. They all yell the ponche, ponche when he gets to 2 strikes. Get out of this. He gets Ohtani, he gets Sato here. Maybe a little momentum, a little hope for Venezuela.
One, 2. He struck him out. Acuna's coming up. Venezuela gets out of the jam. Good pitching from De Jesus.